All right, I'm going to go over some of the navigation and tools and Onshape and how we're going to utilize it in class as our CAD platform. So the first thing you're going to want to do when we get to the home screen is we're going to go ahead and create a folder for Introduction to Engineering class. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create, and I'm going to click on Folder. I'm going to name that folder IED, and I'm going to date it 2021 for our year. And then I'm going to put my initials at the end. So on yours, you'll go ahead and put your initials at the end. And then go ahead and click Create. All right. And what that's done is it's given us a place to be able to store our files for Introduction to Engineering Design. I'm going to go ahead and click on that folder. And the next thing I'm going to do is go over here and click Create. And I'm going to click on a document. So we're going to create a new document. I'm going to name the document Navigation. Navigation Practice. And then again, I'm going to put my initials at the end of it. This is where you're going to want to name your projects. And so if you have a project you're working on or something like that, you're going to want to name that as the documentation. When you do that, it's going to go ahead and open a document for us to look at. If the document's open, you're going to see that we are within our workspace now. And so some things that I want to point out to you that may be different than other CAD systems you might have used before. In Onshape, by default, this document that we're within holds all different types of files. And so by default, it gives us a part studio, which is where we create individual parts. And we also have an assembly space where we take those different parts and assemble them together. You can also click the little plus and add new elements to your document. And so we could create a drawing for our document. So I'm going to go ahead and select that we want to create a size A drawing, an ANSI A drawing, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And it's going to add that drawing file to our documents. And so now we have a part studio, an assembly, and a drawing all within this one document. And so all the files for your project can be contained within a document. One thing that I want us to practice a little bit here, these are our work planes where we're going to create geometry for our different parts. If you look under here, under our browser tab, you can click and show and hide these different planes that we can work from to create geometry. And so sometimes those planes will be get in the way of what you're trying to do or what you're trying to see. And so if you want to hide those, you can do that right here in the project browser. Another thing that I want to make sure we understand is how to navigate around within Onshape. And so if we want to orbit around in Onshape, if you just simply hold down your right mouse button, hold it down and click and drag, you can orbit different around your parts that you're creating or sketches. If you look at the cube in the top right, you can see that it's moving with you. That's also a place where we can get to different views. For instance, I can click on top. I can click on bottom. I can move it a little bit to the left or right. If I want to see the front view, I could simply click on this arrow until front's visible, and then it would show me the front view. If I want to go back to an isometric view, all I have to do is click on isometric from the little drop down, and it'll take me back to that isometric view. So this is going to be a really valuable tool to use, and also right-clicking and orbiting around is going to be very valuable. So that's kind of it for the navigation and the basics of how the system is set up. So continue to work with Onshape and learn more about how to create parts and features.